Okay, class, I wanted to show you on how to get started with your data collection file for the current school year. And basically, I've tried to make this as easy as possible and as flexible as possible. Um, it is an Excel file, or I should say an Excel workbook. And you should know Excel workbooks contain worksheets. Those are what those tabs are along the bottom. Those are your worksheets that are housed within a workbook. The data files that I created for you are set up with three tabs. The first tab is the data dictionary tab. And for you to really know what this really means, you kind of need to scroll over to the second tab, which is the school year 12-13 tab. These are your column headings, your variables that are all along the top here. Basically, I advise using short, descriptive column titles so as you don't have a lot of running text along the top. It makes just for a cleaner presentation. So in lieu of that, I have the data dictionary in which it describes what each of those columns are in each data file. So you basically have two data files at the moment. You've got the current year for school year 12-13, and then you'll have an historical file. Now you'll notice the historical file is empty, and that's because once this school year is over, we're going to copy and paste over, or copy the worksheet over, and this is going to become a running record over time that will enable you to do some trend and longitudinal analyses. But for the meantime, you should only be concerned with this school year. Now this data file is completely customizable, and I mentioned that here with the little call out. You can add additional columns, whether it's a teacher, an ELA teacher, a math teacher, any other demographics. You'll notice I don't have special ed in here at the moment because we have some issues with Aspen in terms of the SPED module pilot and use of extent, and I don't think I can get a reliable yes or no value out of the system. So if you want to flag those kids with a SPED column and a simple yes or no coding, feel free to do that. You can add any other variables like programs, whether this child is gifted or if they're in Read 180. You are not limited here. I just do advise not to get too crazy and make the spreadsheet so wide that you have to keep scrolling to the right. And the intent of the data file here, as you'll see here, I've added some what I call dummy labels here. This is basically where you can just start adding in your CSI assessments. So whether you have a curriculum assessment from Everyday Math and Vision Math, or Reading Streets, or a local writing prompt, a rubric, a problem-solving metric, you just need to add it in. The important thing here is adding in this descriptive information, not just a name, but you want to be able to tell yourself and tell other people who's viewed this file what the scale is it 1 to 10, is it percent correct, what's its range, and if you establish a benchmark, what that cutoff score is, and then we're going to be able to do things called conditional formatting, where we'll be color coding certain cells based on whatever ranges you specify. And you just need to add that information here. And it's usually just a one-time thing. So that is pretty much it. Just get comfortable with knowing that you'll have to augment the data dictionary worksheet. But basically, you are ready to go to start entering data as soon as you get this file up and running. Now, I do think that I'm probably going to get some questions in terms of school size, where Yes, we do have schools that are bigger than others. And what do you want to do about that? The best suggestion I can do with that is you can kind of work things out with sharing this workbook with your fellow teachers on a common drive and simply filtering out by grade level, and you can show them how to do this, where they just grab their particular school, well, it'll be just your school, the grade level. They can input their name and then start plugging in test scores if you're concerned about being overwhelmed with the data entry. But I do caution, as you'll read from the Clark article, it is preferred to have one person be the manager of the data in the school, hence the data POC. And we're in the fortunate position here in Dodita to have these EDCs to give you a little extra incentive to carry out that work. So that's pretty much it. 3 worksheets, one for data entry, one for describing the data that you entered, and then one for recording the historical data as time progresses.